Hey everyone, and welcome. So, have you ever felt that little knot of anxiety in your stomach walking up to an airport check-in counter in English? Well, if you have, this explainer is for you. We're going to walk through the exact, super simple phrases you need to handle it like a pro, so you can start your trip feeling totally confident. Let's dive in. It's such a familiar feeling, right? You're next in line, you're mentally rehearsing all the English phrases, just hoping you don't miss a question or say the wrong thing. Look, that anxiety is completely normal. But today, we're going to turn it into pure confidence. It's all about simple preparation. So, how do we do that? Well, we're going to start by looking at a totally typical, real-world conversation you'd have at the check-in desk. Think of this as your secret script for a successful and, most importantly, a stress-free experience.
Okay, so the conversation almost always kicks off this way. A nice polite greeting, and then they ask for your ticket. The key here is to have it ready to go, either on your phone or print it out, just to keep things moving along smoothly.
And your response? It can be just as simple. You really don't need any complex grammar here. A clear yes, here is my ticket, or even just a natural, here you are, is absolutely perfect. Trust me, simplicity is your best friend in these moments.
Next up, the agent's going to want to confirm your destination. This is just a quick double check to make sure your bags get sent to the right place and that your booking is all correct in their system. And hey, quick tip, if you ever don't quite catch what they said, a simple, polite, "Sorry, could you repeat that?" works like a charm.
And again, a super simple, direct answer is all you need. Just state your final destination clearly. I'm flying to Dubai. This really helps avoid any confusion, especially if you have a connecting flight somewhere.
All right, now it's time to talk about the bags. The agent will ask if you have any luggage to check. This is a pretty key step because it determines if you have any baggage fees and, make sure your bags actually get on the plane.
This is where you want to be specific. Just let them know exactly how many bags you're checking in. Yes, I have one bag to check. Or if you're only taking a bag on the plane with you, you can just say, no, just my carry-on. Easy.
Okay, and here it comes, the single most important document for any international traveler. The agent is definitely going to ask to see your passport to verify who you are.
And just like you did with your ticket, a simple, yes, here it is perfect as you hand it over. Remember, just keeping it polite and clear makes the whole process smoother for you and for them. And just like that, you're done. Check-in is complete. The agent will hand back your passport and your shiny new boarding pass and then point you to the next step, the security check. See, that whole conversation is really just built on a few key phrases. So now, let's zoom in a little bit. We're going to unpack the most important words from that exchange to make sure you know exactly what's being asked. So let's go back to this question about luggage. It's a word you hear all the time at the airport, but it can be a little confusing. What are they actually talking about?
It's actually really simple. Luggage is just the general term for all your bags and your suitcases. You'll also hear the word baggage a lot. They mean the exact same thing. So when they ask for your luggage, they're really just asking about your bags.
Okay, now for the passport question. You'll remember this one from our little dialogue. This is the one you are guaranteed to hear on every single international flight. It's a total non-negotiable. This little book right here is basically your key to the world. It's the official government-issued document that proves who you are and where you're from so you can cross international borders. Pro tip, always keep it somewhere you can get to it easily.
And finally, we have this instruction. This is the line that wraps up your check-in. It's not really a question, it's more of a polite direction, sending you off to the next part of your airport journey.
And this is exactly what they're talking about. The security check is that area where officers screen you and your carry-on bags. It's a totally standard procedure, and it's all about making sure the flight is safe for every single passenger.
All right, we've walked through the whole conversation and we've defined all the key vocabulary. So now, let's put all of that together into a simple toolkit you can basically use as a mental checklist every time you fly. Here it is, the entire check-in process boiled down to 5 super simple steps. You start with your ticket, then your destination, then your luggage, then your passport, and finally, you're sent off to security. If you can remember this 5-step flow, you'll always know exactly what's coming next. No surprises.
Okay, this slide right here is your ultimate cheat sheet. Seriously. On the left, you've got the agent's 4 main questions. And on the right, your simple, perfect answers. You can literally just fill in the blanks with your own trip details. I would honestly take a screenshot of this for your next trip.
So why did we spend all this time on what seems like one short, little conversation? Well, because what you learn here goes way beyond just the check-in desk. Let's take a look at the bigger picture.
This is about so much more than just checking in a bag. It's about starting your entire journey with a win. When you can handle this very first interaction with confidence, it just sets a positive tone for the rest of your trip. It turns what could be stressful into a real feeling of accomplishment.
You know, mastering these basics isn't just about memorizing some phrases. It's about unlocking the world. Every small step you take in your language journey builds the confidence you need to explore, to connect, and to travel without fear. So the real question is, where will your English take you next?